Hey guys, welcome to Live Korean. Today we're going to be looking at 9 words which are not originally Korean words. Some of them are Konglish and some of them are from other languages too. So I've tried to choose words that are useful in everyday life. So let's have a look at them. Hopefully some of them you won't know, and we'll take a look at where some of them came from too. Alright, so let's take a look at the first one, which you can see here. Let me move this over. Alright, first one is Arbeit or Arbeit. And this comes from the German word Arbeit originally. If you live in Korea, you may have seen signs around the place saying Arbeit. And basically, Arbeit or Arbeit is usually talking about like a part-time job. Now, we say part-time job, but you know, some people who are working as an Arbeit are still working long hours as well. So it can also be like a student job or a holiday job or kind of casual work as well. And sometimes we even call people who are doing Arbeit, sometimes we call them Arbeit. So that comes from the German word which means work or labor. Okay, the next one is 리모컨. Pretty self-explanatory. 리모컨 is basically remote or remote and control, and they put them together. So I think even a native speaker, if they heard 리모컨 a few times, they would be able to work out what it is. But yeah, definitely a good one for everyday life. Where is the remote control? 리모컨 어디 있어요? Okay, and moving on. Here is a very similar one to 리모컨. Slightly different, 레미콘, but means something totally different. So as you can see from the picture, we have a truck here. This is a concrete mixer. So 레미콘 means concrete mixer. Can you guess where 레미콘 comes from? It does come from English actually, and it stands for ready mixed concrete. Ready mixed concrete. Now, even though it means ready mixed concrete, it is talking about the vehicle, the truck, and not the concrete coming out. The concrete is still just called concrete. And you might think, well, is this such a common word? In Korea, you know, there's always things being built, developed, construction going on, so it's pretty common to see concrete mixers, 레미콘, driving around. So it may not seem like a common word, but you know, it does get used a fair bit. Next one is klaxon. Klaxon. Now look at the picture and you can probably guess it's the car horn. Now klaxon is from English, but it's also from a trademark, from a company name. And it's from the company name Klaxon, K-L-A-X-O-N, which was a company who made the very famous horn that you'll know from very old cars and that you would have heard in movies or cartoons, the auga horn. So anyway, that word is used in Korean to talk about the car horn, even in modern cars. Now there is a Korean word for car horn, which is kyongjok, but just in everyday language, people prefer to use klaxon, but you know, kyongjok does get used sometimes. Moving on, we have consent. We have a lot of kon words here. Consent is talking about the electrical socket, or I think you call it the electrical outlet as well, on the wall. Consent is also English. Consenter comes from the word concentric plug. Concentric plug, which it's not a phrase we like use so much. It's more of a technical term, and some of these words actually do come from, you know, old or technical terms that, you know, in English we would use a different term. It's technically right, but we wouldn't say that in everyday English. Now, concentric plug, you know, you would usually think of a plug that you put into the outlet, but it does mean the actual outlet itself, the actual socket where you put the plug into. But definitely a useful one if you're living in Korea and you're looking for a power outlet. The next one is Gips. Gips. Gips comes from German, and in German it means the word plaster. You can see in this picture somebody's got a cast on, and in Korean it's actually used to refer to the cast rather than plaster itself. So if someone's got a broken arm or a broken leg and they're wearing a plaster cast, people will just call it gips. The Korean word for plaster is 석고, but for these type of casts, people prefer to say gips. Hopefully you won't need to know that one, but you never know. The next one is pokren. Now, pokren is a mix of, well, it sounds like a mix of forklift and crane, but actually it means a digger or excavator, just like you see in this picture here. So yeah, in Korea they call diggers fork cranes. Now some people I've noticed will just refer to any kind of construction vehicle as a fork crane. Maybe they can't differentiate between the different vehicles, so they just refer to it as a pokren. But if we're looking at the actual real meaning, a pokren is talking about a digger. And again, lots of construction in Korea, you can often see these around the place. AS. If you're buying something, you definitely want to know if it has free AS. Now AS stands for after service. So basically getting something serviced or repaired after you've bought it. In English we usually talk about a warranty, and some things might say 1 year free AS. But the thing that's different between warranty and AS is that warranty is talking about the period where you can get free repairs or replacements or things like that. AS is kind of talking about the actual after service itself. So you can ask a shop or ask a seller, do you provide after service? And sometimes Koreans are surprised to learn that these abbreviations or words aren't used in English-speaking countries. And this is one of those words. Okay, lastly, we have multitap. Multitap. Multitap comes from the English word multitap. And basically, as you can see, it's a multi-plug, or I believe in the US people say a power strip. Some people say power bar in some places. Seems to be a few different names for it. So yeah, that's a pretty simple one, speaks for itself, but good to know if you need some extra content. Okay, well that's the 9 words for today from both English and other languages. There are definitely more of these words that are used in everyday language, so I might do another one of these if there's interest. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back again with another video, so stay tuned. Thanks guys.